Call the names. Wake the room. Wake the room. Wake the room! Luyu, Rex, Pam Ray, Naomi, Afasiana, Babbler, Monarch Soul, Jojo, Grey Eyes, fill my eyes. Poets assemble. No masks, no manners. Say it plain, or say it broken. Monday night in the garden of enlightenment. Low light lit minds, every line got intent. Clock ticks crooked and the room turns vigilant. Quiet so loud you can hear what the tension meant. Then it slips after midnight, manners get murdered. Nice little masks get cracked by a word or a murmur. Twisted Tuesdays twist truth till it turns on its heel. Clean cut faces go strange when the dark gets real. You can feel that shift, that slick little slip when the grin stays sweet, but the eyes don't sit. Like the room grew ribs, like the walls grew ears, like the hush got hands and it's pulling you near. And the words don't rest, they press. Put a heel on the chest, leave a dent in the breath. Every line like a knock from the back of the brain. Like you came in one shape, you won't leave the same. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown in the soft dome dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whispering the ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Say it plain, say it broken. Late night poets, Wednesday breaks, parts in the park, sink down the spine, half halo, half hazard, both hands in the light. In the yard of seduction walks soft through the smoke, silk on the tongue with the blade in the joke. Books and bards wakes dust in the depth of the shelves. Old ghosts lean out and start naming themselves in a craft and sullen up the ache. Gets a voice, pain stands up straight and makes silence a choice. Then break on through when the devil gives way, when the masses sink but the pulse says pray. Echoes in the dark, go hunt the fear, that thing with no name starts ringing in your ear. Say it, say it. Fill my eyes with poetry, don't water it down. Let it bite, let it bloom, let it burn through the crowd. Bad company grins like a bruise, dressed smart, and rhythm and rhyme puts a boot through the heart. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown in the soft dome dim. Late night poets, hear the whole thing shift from a whisper in the ribs to a line that lifts from the darkened edge of doubt to the pull you can't ignore. We don't just read the night, we make it something more. Say it plain, say it broken. Late night poets, some come shattered, some come slick. Some speak honey with a blade in it. Some sound velvet, some sound wire. Some walk in low and take the room higher. Some come holy, some come liars. That's the thing! This ain't filler for the dead space, no. There's a pulse with a pen, this is blood with an echo, this is breath to the backbone, ink with the crown, live mics, live nerves, truth laid bare in the round. This is the beautiful mess, the bruise and the bloom, the line that cuts clean and makes a little room. Late souls, wide eyes, all nerve in the dark, a room full of hearts beating hard through the dark. Wake the room, wake the room. Late night poets, where the room leans in, where the sharp gets shown in the soft dome dim. slips past polite. We tell the truth. L&P, we love you. Stay frosty.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twisted Tuesdays with the Twisted Sisters. Maybe a Twisted Mister or two, one never knows. Hope everyone's having a great week so far, and I hope you have an even better week to follow. Hi, Pam.
Hey, Jean, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How's it going with you?
Well, I'd say all in all, pretty good. I got out for a little bit today. Didn't walk, got a ride from my daughter to run a little bit of errands, including getting the nose cushions on my glasses replaced. So now they're a lot more comfortable to use. So that has put me in a decent mood.
Very good, very good. Huh. Yeah, so, well, how was your weather today?
It was, well, it got hot for this area. It got up to 87. And most of the day it was pretty nice. Of course, most of the day I was inside, so that's what made it nice.
Yeah, right.
But then for about 2 hours straight, we had thunder and lightning and downpour. So, which was nice because it actually it made things humid, but it also cooled things off a bit. So, yeah, I mean, I really can't complain. It didn't start raining until I would have been inside anyway. So, it just great timing. I mean, if you're going to have that kind of weather, at least it's when you're all done with errands. So works for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got up to 81 today, and which was nice. It was a nice 81. It wasn't
Yeah.
It wasn't horrendous, and I think our low is supposed to get down to like 68 overnight. But right now we're sitting at 71 according to the according to the internet. I have no idea what the reality of that is. And yeah, so it was a beautiful day here. Had the back door open most of the day so the dog could run in and out as she pleased, which is always nice. And yeah, we had a nice cold dinner, which was good. I didn't have to cook. Well, I kind of had to cook, but I didn't have to cook much. So that was always nice. And my daughter was here for a while. And yeah, that about sums up my day. Other than that, I took a nap and I could use about 4 more. And that's before bedtime. So you know how that is, right? 4 more naps before bedtime, and it's 10 o'clock at night. So you getting my picture there?
Absolutely.
Amy says it was 83 in Georgia. 83.
That makes all the difference.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 83.
Yeah, I didn't have to cook today either because I had enough leftovers, but I will say that I had a package of gnocchi, or however you pronounce it, in the cupboard, and I thought, I'm really in the mood for those to go with my leftover beef roast. So that's what I cooked up, is those gnocchis and some green beans too. So good stuff.
There you go. Yeah. And Amy said that her weather was 83 degrees today, but it's been raining most of the day. And that's in Georgia, because I remember.
Wow, yes.
Yeah, that's warm and sticky to me. Oof. Not my.
I know, it's crazy that it was actually hotter here in Wisconsin than it was in Georgia.
Absolutely. John, what was your weather today? Okay, so we'll see. He'll answer me eventually. So tell us about our contest for tonight, Pam.
All right. Well, tonight we have poetry. I ran a contest and we have poetry inspired by the artwork of Furman Bees. I actually was glad I looked up that pronunciation because the last name is spelled Baes, and I was pronouncing it Bays. But then I looked it up and realized and found out that it's actually Furman Bees. Um, and I did open the contest to pre-writes yesterday, I believe, or the day before. I can't remember exactly, but in case people, in order to get some more rights and see if
Mhm.
people perhaps had something that connected with the artwork. Um, I think I was really drawn to his use of gentle colors and the realism of his artwork. He was a Belgian painter and pastel artist. He did actually, and plus a draughtsman and print designer. He was born April 18th, 1874, and I will probably mess up these pronunciations, but in Saint Jose ten Nood in Belgium, and died December 4th, 1943, at the age of 69 in Lazelles, Brussels, Belgium. He got his education in the Académie Royale des Beaux-Arts. His parents were Henry Bees and Eloise Bowley. He was a very lucrative painter. He not only painted quality work, but he also uh, did quite a bit of painting and drawing throughout his lifetime. Um, he had actually quite a few well-known artists and within his family. And let's see, and he had a variety of styles. Like pastels was definitely his favorite to work with. He also helped to make money to support himself and his family. He designed prints and posters. He had a wide variety of subject matters that ranged from still lifes, genre scenes, portraits, nudes, landscapes, and interiors. All of his artwork, I think, is tastefully done. I did not put any of the nudes in this contest. And I didn't put a whole lot of his still life, only because I've done a few other, or at least a couple other artists with still lifes. I think for me, for the contest, I tended to focus more on his portraits, though I did have one still life of flowers. But he's got a real gentle touch with his use of color and light. um, I feel like with his artwork of people, he really brings out the individual personalities in the moment. So yeah, we've got a decent board tonight, including a couple that were added. We have 18 rights on the board, so that is a decent amount. And yeah, anybody who does not know his artwork, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's just really beautiful and definitely captivating for sure. So, yeah, I look forward to delving into tonight's poetry.
Yes, it sounds like it'll be a great show.
Yeah, I think so.
Team Monsanto says, I wish I could be there on the board right now. I'm at a friend's dinner thing. Stuff, food, beer, and mediocre conversation. I'll try to slip one earbud in one ear. If I don't get that eye from my wife, it's a gamble.
Well, I wouldn't risk the eye.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it
I
could be
say he's
dangerous.
probably better off listening on the recorded show on YouTube. But good to
Right?
good to see him in late night poets. And
Absolutely.
yeah, well, I hope T has lots of fun at the get together. It sounds like it'll be fun.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know,
Mhm.
not as
Absolutely.
twisted as the Twisted Sisters, but
That's
hey.
right. That's right. It cannot compare. Oh my goodness. No, so what was I just going to say? Well, hello and goodbye, Budo. It was nice of you to join us for a short time. I do know.
Absolutely. Just a
Heaven
quick
only
little
knows.
glance, but
We
at
might have
least it's
scared him away.
something.
We may have scared him away. Oh
Oh
my
my
goodness.
gosh.
So let
But
me think.
yeah, it's good to see JoJo and Amy Lynn hanging out on the board.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I did put up the link in the room to listen on YouTube. That's not really the link. I
nice.
put up the embed for them. So there's more than one way to do it around here. We're getting so fancy schmancy.
Right?
We didn't even
Man.
have to try. People push us into this stuff, you know. Yeah, it's always the way. So let me see now. Well, I don't have much else to report on tonight. After this show, we have Part Center, Part Saint. Tomorrow night we have The Art of Seduction. What's going on there tomorrow night, Pam?
Well, let's see. I have a contest open which will end tonight. The Art of Seduction, the Art of Aldo Luongo. And but I'm also accepting Open Sensual on the topic board, which is already up in Late Night Poets. So yeah, that's should be a wonderful show. People can call in and join me and Gray Eyes for a wonderful night of sensual poetry inspired by beautiful artwork.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds very good. And then after that, we have Books and Bards with Monarch Soul and JoJo. T.S. JoJo. Today, anyway. Tomorrow, he could be something else. We never know with JoJo.
Yeah, it's always up in the air and a big surprise.
Yep, yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that'll be fun. And yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. And then Thursday, of course, we have Thursday's lineup of In Art Craft and Selling Art, correct? Followed by
No, we have a break
Oh,
on through.
we have break on through. Oh, JoJo's got the night off. Just playing. Uh, so yeah. Um, what the heck was I going to say? Yeah. So okay, so we have on one show on Thursday, and then back to Fill My Eyes with Intiminus Rex, or Fill My Eyes and Intiminus Rex with poetry, and yeah. And then Saturday we have Gray Eyes, Bad Company. So yeah, and a Rhythm and Rhyme on Sunday. So it should be a good week. Look forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Ah, yes. I was saying it was a great day, right? All of a sudden it's feeling kind of warm in this house. It gets that way. Around 5 o'clock the
my.
house starts to heat up and it kind of lingers, so I don't know.
For me, it's closing my bedroom door. Like my bedroom is, as soon as the door closes, the heat rises. Like I feel like I'm in a sauna and there's no heater on at all. It just feels like a
It's just
freaking
you, Pam.
sauna.
It's just you, Pam, heating up the room.
It is.
I've heard those rumors from the dungeon.
Yeah, and it's not even Wednesday.
Nope. Nope, not at all. Ah, hey, Monarch. Nice to know you're over there listening on YouTube. That'll be good.
Absolutely.
She's checking to see if I'm getting those links out on time. Ah, gosh. Okay, Pam. Well, I guess whenever you're ready, we'll get this show on the road.
All right. I'm going to put up the first poem, and it is Decorating Time by Gray0328. And I'll give this a read. Grandma, your elbows carry secret art, smoothed into skin, folded like whispers. This one here, yes, by the sharp curve, it crinkles into Aunt Gladys, almost smiling. And this other, with its puffed furrow, It's more like a pit bull mid-growl. I trace it with my finger as you laugh, your shoulders bouncing, shaking loose memories. Can I look at your knees next? Because maybe they're hiding someone too. Perhaps Grandpa, his laugh frozen forever, or a stranger I've never met before. What stories could be resting in bone? Here in the quiet moments of sitting still, I uncover lives written in your body, told without ever purposefully being told. Your skin, Grandma, is more than yours. It's maps and mirrors, ornaments of time. The face shift, the faces shift as you remind me. Time doesn't spare anyone, but it decorates. End poem.
Nice. Yeah, this was an excellent poem. Uh, Hang on. I forgot what I was doing. I just wanted to finish one word. It was a wonderful write. Excellent imagery and a great take on this prompt all the way through. Wonderful, wonderful stanzas. Um, let's see, what stories can be resting in bone? Here in the quiet moments of sitting still, I uncover lives written on your body, or in your body, told without ever purposely being told. Your skin, Grandma, is more than yours. Its maps and mirrors, ornaments of time. The faces shift as you remind me. Time doesn't spare anyone, but it decorates. I love that. I think this whole piece is just very well done. Very, very well done. hmm And
Oh,
thank you for sharing.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. I'm done, Pam. End comment.
All right, all right. I just though my own I didn't realize you hadn't yet said thank you for sharing. So
hmm
I gave a pause there after I realized. Um, but I have to agree, this is such a great take on the chosen prompt. I will say that one of the things I really like about this artist and his um, use of doing portraits is he had portraits of people from all different walks of life, the working class, the upper class, the old, the young. I mean, there's such a nice variety. It's not like you're like I felt like each portrait I put up in the contest was putting up a character, a person in from history that somebody could get a story from or relate to. And I think Gray 0328 did that very well. I really appreciate and enjoy that he looked at this portrait of this older woman and saw the idea of a grandchild talking to her, exploring her wrinkles, her the lines that age and time have given her, and really wonderful lines throughout. I really like the third line, which has the question, "Can I look at your knees next?" Because it shows the curiosity of a child, and the ending too, which I think has some wonderful words of wisdom. The faces shift as you remind me. Time doesn't spare anyone, but it decorates. Just an amazing write by Gray 0328, and very well done.
Excellent.
All right. And get back to where I need to be. Up next, we have Prompt 14, Spring Reading by Bookworm Dave 227. And whenever you're ready, Jean, go ahead.
Yeah, let me see if it came up on the board. No, it did not. Not on my board
It
anyway.
didn't come up for me either. I had to refresh.
Yeah, I just refreshed. It didn't come up then either. Um,
Hmm. Did I put it in the
there,
book? Maybe
it's
I sent it.
it's no, it's there now. It's just
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying that it's the prompts aren't like it's not refreshing the way it should. That's all.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, Spring Readings by Bookworm Dave 227. Molly read by the pond at the park. Splashes from the frogs and fish are her concerto of silence. Words are being played in her brain as she savors the prose, as it balms her day. It is Sunday. She went to Mass, sat alone but never felt alone, as the sun shined through the stained glass. Artisans of many centuries before made these glass art pieces, as she read the Psalms and Gospel readings for this Sunday. Her journey of faith began here, but always ended by the pond, savoring in the spring and hoping he would come again. It was on Easter she shared the pew, and a kindly gesture of peace. Maybe he would join her for a walk along the Seine, watching the artist paint the reality. As wishes go, it was not impossible, just uncertain. One more chance, she daydreamed. It was more than just a blissful awareness, it was something more. As she poked out of her book, seeing him walk with flowers, as he sat down next to her. These are for you, he said with a grin. Thus, a dream became her reality on a spring day with the birds chirping. End poem.
Great read there, Jean. This is a wonderful story right from Bookworm Dave 227, which does connect very well with the chosen prompt, especially in his opening lines. Okay, that's not the one I was thinking. Oh, I think he just accidentally misnumbered because to me this is, I believe he said 14, and to me this is obviously written to 13, which is a woman
Yeah,
sitting in a chair outside reading next to a pond. So yeah,
yeah,
but beautifully written, great storytelling. I really like his attention to detail. I like how he shows us a glimpse of this woman's faith. He shows us a glimpse of how she enjoys being outside and yet reading at the same time. Back when I used to read a little more, reading outside, I mean, it really is, it's like the best of both worlds. You know, you get the songs of the birds, you get the fresh air, and at the same time, you can delve into your favorite book. Um, and I thought there was great lines throughout, but it was especially those last four stanzas that spoke to me, starting with one more chance she daydreamed, and then the end line. Thus, a dream became her reality on a spring day with the birds chirping. Wonderful lines by Bookworm Dave 227, and very well done.
absolutely. Yeah, I thought this was a great, nicely penned story, and a great take on that chosen prompt. I thought that the main character was well created. You know, he gave her substance throughout. And I'm with you. I picked up those last four couplets as well. One more chance that she daydreamed. It was more than just a blissful awareness. It was something more. As she poked out of her book, seeing him walk with flowers. As he sat down next to her, these are for you, he said with a grin. Thus, a dream became her reality on a spring day with the birds chirping. Yeah, I thought that was nice. So very well done, and thank you for sharing with us, Dave.
Absolutely. Great comment there, Jean.
Hmm.
All right. Um, Up next we have I'm a Stargazer by Julie Buck. And it goes like this. I'm a stargazer, but I'm not a dream chaser. I've got all my dreams inside my loving cottage. When I don't let when I don't like what I see, I use my mental eraser. I don't know enough to think beyond the century I'm in. Together we make soft light, but loud our hearts sigh. I look at you and I say it all with my grateful grin. My joy pitters in indebted bliss. Being with you is an angel nearby. How I adore nighttime with you and only you. Look, darling, the stars. They they are watching us now. If I lived in a different decade, I could utter the unfamiliar wow. End poem.
Oh gosh, yes. This is a nice piece by Julie Buck. Um, I thought it was a good take on the prompt. Only because, the woman is standing there at that window and all you see are the stars in the sky. So it made perfect sense. I am a stargate. Wow. I'm a stargazer, but I'm not a dream chaser. I've got all my dreams inside my loving cottage. When I don't like what I see, I use my mental eraser. I cracked up at that one. I don't know enough to think beyond the century I'm in. If I lived in that century, I don't know if I'd want to be looking ahead. You know what I mean? Why? Why? It's a much simpler time, Things were harder, but it was much simpler. There's a simplicity in lifestyle. You're not trying to keep up with everybody else and none of that other nonsense that's going. I think that, I think she captured something good in this image. So well done, Julie, and thank you for sharing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment there, Jean. I was very curious because of the end line about the word wow
Yeah.
being used. They were in a later, so I was looking at the etymology of wow, and the first known uses, according to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, the first known use as an interjection was in 1513, but the
Wow.
first uses of as wow as a noun or a verb wasn't until noun 1920 and verb 1924.
Huh.
Yeah, so at least it would have been used, at least in that time period, it would have been used as an interjection. So interesting there. Learned something new. This is nicely written couplets. I have to say that the two images that were of this woman by a window, one of her looking outside and one of her looking back, were I think my two favorite images. And I like how this speaks on the idea of how you don't need much to have an appreciation for the blessings of life, for the people that you spend time with, and I like how, this really is about the appreciation of those simple blessings. And I really like where it says, I look at you and say it all with my grateful grin. My joy pitters in indebted bliss. Being with you is an angel nearby. How I adore nighttime with you and only you. I like that Julie puts herself into the voice of the woman in the painting and shows us her thoughts on in the moment. So just absolutely beautifully written by Julie Buck and very well done.
Absolutely.
All right, grabbing the next one, and we have How Much is Too Much by Monty G. Point 25, and we have a SoundCloud for that.
Yes, we do. Okay. Here we go.
Take a bite of the Big Apple, they said. Grab heaps and you will get ahead. So I thought I should grab the lot. And over time, let's see what I got. Am I being greedy or simply smart?
By positioning myself near the cot.
I don't want to grow up and be left out,
Take what you can.
is what life's about. So here I am. I took the whole lot for myself.
No way do I want to be left sitting on the shelf.
That's a mug's game, so I hear mum and dad say.
You have to go in very hard if you want to play.
But now I look around, and I'm the only one.
Didn't think to share any of it with anyone.
Nobody talks to me anymore now.
Can I fix this? I don't know how.
Looks like I took the wrong approach.
But I was just listening to my life's coach.
That's what they did in their life, they said.
just took what they could to just get ahead.
Doesn't seem right now that I think it through.
Should have shared, it was the right thing to do.
There was more than enough for me to truly last.
Am I too late?
Or, like mom and dad.
Life's gone past.
Great, right here, Monty. Thank you so much for the SoundCloud. It is very much appreciated. And just a reminder, everyone, if you're unable to call in, the next best thing is to make a recording of your poem, because then we get to hear your poetry in your voice or how you would like it to be heard. I really enjoy and appreciate how Monty did both the adult voice. I mean, how he used a program that created both the adult voice and the child's voice. That worked really well with this right. And your thoughts, Jean?
Yes. I thought this was nice work. A clever take on that prompt and a bit of fun and a good recording. I like the two voices as well. I thought that was I got a little lost in the beginning because I'm like, where am I? And I was trying to find my place in the poem. But I think I was just a little thrown, not realizing that two voices were in each stanza, or pretty much each stanza. So here I am. I took the whole lot for myself. No way do I want to be left sitting on the shelf. That's a mug's game. So I hear mom and dad say, you have to go on very hard if you want to play. But now I look around and I'm the only one. Didn't think to share any of it with anyone. Nobody talks to me anymore now. Can I fix this? I don't know how. I don't know. I thought that bits of it sounded fun, and then there was parts of it that just sounded serious. But I think that the child's voice gave me that maybe the uplifting, kind of thinking it was fun feeling, But nice job, Monty, and thanks for sharing with us. Really appreciate it. Great job.
Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. Yeah, I thought this was a wonderful write by Monty. Great take on the chosen prompt. I mean, that child looks all cute and innocent, but the way they're clutching that ball, like they want to keep it all to themselves. I can definitely see how that story, that perspective came out of Monty. I thought the two voices worked well, and I too was a little thrown off, but that's just the way my brain works, trying to keep track of things. But the two voices worked nicely, as if because of the idea that the person's an adult looking back at the way they were thinking as a child and the lessons they learned as they got older. And it's interesting, when we learn as a child, we can learn from people who give these wonderful words of wisdom of how we should treat other people. And then sometimes advice can get a little confusing, like take a bite of the big apple, they said, grab heaps and you will get ahead. So here's the idea that this is great advice, in a competitive world, but it's not great advice for teaching a child how to get along with other people, how to show kindness to other people. So I like that this poem has this person looking back and realizing that they're going around getting all this stuff for themselves, but in the meantime, they're not really feeling happy. They're starting to realize how poor this advice is for getting them through life. And I thought there were some, great lines throughout. But I did especially like, so here I am, I took the whole lot for myself. No way do I want to be left sitting on the shelf. That's a mug's game, so I hear mom and dad say. You have to go in very hard if you want to play. And then the last two stanzas also. And the idea of realizing that sometimes we just can't always learn from what people tell us. Sometimes we have to learn from our own experiences. So excellent, right, Monty, and very well done. All right. And
Amy made a good comment in the group here. I love the conversation between past self and current self. And just to answer the end, if you can recognize there needs to be a change, then it's never too late. So I thought that was nicely done. Nicely done. Nicely
oh,
said.
that is.
Hmm.
I like that. Yes, definitely. Well said there, Amy. Thank you.
Welcome back, Amy. She needs a little Velcro on her chair. Ah,
Yeah, yeah, it's really nice when people share comments in the chat. So,
absolutely.
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 And all right. Well, we have Vanity's Vengeance by Beneath the Stanza. And whenever you're ready, Jean.
Sure. Vanity's vengeance. The vanity mirror is tilted askew, a desperate shield from the truth in view. It traps only half of the haunting sight, masking the toll of the encroaching night. She traces the skin where the soft bloom fled, a weight in her chest, heavy as lead. She remembers the girl that used to be, lost in the glass she's afraid to see. The mirror is a stranger, unkind and cold, whispering secrets of growing old. She it to the side, tilts it to side every etched in line, where time leaves its mark on a slow decline. It's a hollow ache in a velvet room, watching the light fade to gather gloom. She's holding the ghost of her younger hand as time slips away like the desert sand. What she won't face is the graying strand, slipping like life through the trembling hand. She yearns for the days when the mirror lied, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. End poem.
Great read there, Jean. This is a wonderful rhyming poem by Beneath the Stanza. It has a great flow to it, amazing imagery and metaphors. Again, it's a great take on the chosen prompt. I feel like I've said that line already a few times tonight, but I feel like people so far have been just nailing their chosen prompts. You look at that image and the woman touching the side of her face does look like somebody's studying a wrinkle that's coming in. So great title, wonderful use of alliteration, and I like the imagery in this. I like how it touches on the fear of aging, and not only aging itself, but the fact that aging means coming closer and closer to death. So it feels like there's also this fear of time slipping away, of having to face death, they also just not recognizing yourself anymore. And it's definitely like it does speak on vanity, but it also I think just speaks of the fear of time passing. Um, and I like the personification of the mirror. I think that works really well. And great lines throughout. But I especially like the mirror's a stranger, unkind and cold, whispering secrets of growing old. She tilted to hide every etched in line, where time leaves its mark on a slow decline. Wonderful lines, beautifully written, and very well done by Beneath the Stanza.
Hmm. Yeah, I like this as well. I thought it was a great piece and excellent take on that prompt. Wonderful imagery as well as rhyme and meter. And I did pick up that same stanza as you did. I followed it up with the next one, but I can drop down to the last two. It's a hollow ache in a velvet room, watching the light fade to gather gloom. She's holding the ghost of her younger hand as time slips away like the desert sand. What she won't face is the graying strand, slipping like life through a trembling hand. She yearns for the days when the mirror lied, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. I mean, this was good all the way through. I couldn't pick a bad stanza. Honestly, I don't think there's really one to be had. So, definitely a wonderful piece. And great job beneath this stanza. And thanks for sharing with us tonight. Well done.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I know what you mean because I went back and forth between the choosing the stanza that I did and the one that you read, and I was like, I could have easily read them both. They were, I mean, like you said, just wonderful all the way through. So, you know,
Wow.
absolutely. Great comment, Jean.
Hmm.
All right. And up next, we have I Met a Woman by Ed Hunter. And it goes like this. I met a woman at the airport. She explained that it wasn't pretty throughout. I said, life is a waste and dreams are a mere illusion. She said, be kind because we are always asked to understand a person's conviction, no matter how cynical or revolting they may be. Living is no crime, and kindness is a viewpoint to understanding. A purposeful, wasted life among the many unknowing wasted lives is but a shame. Death feeds on more death, while the spider web awaits. We must not be enemies, for pain will always creep slowly. I thanked the nun and walked to my gate. End poem.
Nice piece by Ed, that's for sure. You have to give me 1 second because it was a short piece and I was doing something over there. You know. Um, yes, yes. I like the turn on the end. I didn't see it coming. But she said, be kind because we're always asked to understand a person's conviction, no matter how cynical or revolting they may be. Living is no crime, and kindness is a viewpoint to understanding. A purposely wasteful life, or wasted life, among the many unknowing wasted lives is but a shame. Death feeds on more death, while the spider web awaits. We must not be enemies, for pain will always creep slowly. Uh, I kind of liked he met the nun at the airport and he had one thing to say and she gave him this feedback. And I thought it was a clever take on the prompt. It was very nicely done and very well pulled together. So thank you, Ed, for sharing with us tonight. Well done.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. Yeah, I like how like the title is I Met a Woman and then at the end says I thanked the nun. So you don't get that perspective right away until the end. But it's interesting how life works that way. Like I don't know if this is a real story or not about, it has to do with something that actually did happen to Ed, but it reads like something real because that's so often what happens in life. We have these moments where we meet people just so very briefly, and yet either some action they had or some words that they shared with us really made an impact on our thinking. I thought this was filled with some words of wisdom. It's a beautiful spiritual rite, reminding us to be kind in our actions, reminding us to live a purposeful, a fulfilling life. And there's these great lines throughout. But I did really like that third stanza. Living is no crime, and kindness is a viewpoint to understanding. Just absolutely an amazing write by Ed Hunter, and very well done. All right, I'm gonna grab the next one, and let's see what people are saying in chat? I'm curious. I have to look over here. Ah, oh, I see T. Manzano. He must have either gotten home or he's risking the side eye. So,
He's risking
hello,
the side eye.
he's risking the side eye. Well, we appreciate that. Risking. He says, such a subtle right, soft, caring. I want to believe her rounded corner words affixed itself to him enough to have it as a carry on for life. Oh, I like that. I like that. Great comment there, T. All right. Very cool. All right. So up next, we have Faith in You by Lockdown Larks. And we do have a SoundCloud for this.
Yes, ma'am. Here we go.
If I ever lost my faith in you, I just don't know what I would do. Whenever I look, you are there, and no other can compare. In the darkness, you comfort me. I can share with you my glee, be annoyed or be proud. If I ever lost my faith in you, I just don't know what I would do. Whenever I look, you are there, and no other can compare. You counsel me every day when I ask you what to believe. Should I go this or that way? The right or wrongs to perceive. If I ever lost my faith in you, I just don't know what I would do. Whenever I look, you are there, and no other can compare. I can connect, I can reflect, I can be direct, I can respect. I look, I see, I think I am. No, I know what, know how. Log jam, I say, I laugh, I sing a song. As in the mirror is where I belong. So if I ever lost my faith in you, I just don't know what I would do. Whenever I look, you are there, and no other can compare. And so it is in the mirror when all becomes clearer. Whenever I look, you are there, and no other can compare. Oh yeah, it is in the mirror that everything becomes clearer, and I know I will see it through if I just keep my faith in you.
Great, right here, Lockdown Larks. And wonderful music and audio choice to put your words to. Thank you for sharing this with us. This is the point in the contest where we're going to be getting some pre-writes, which I think people actually did a really good job with this contest of putting in pre-writes that in some way connected to the artwork. Um, and Jean, your thoughts on Lark's Right?
Yeah, I thought this was nicely done by Lark. A good matchup to the prompt because it is a pre-write, and a nice choice of music and voice for the piece itself. I really enjoyed it, and I think it was very well done. So, and I picked it up. You're gonna hate me, but I picked it up. I say, I laugh, I sing a song, as in the mirror is where I belong. So if I ever lost my faith in you, you just don't know what I would do. Whenever I look, you are there, and no other can compare. And I took it all the way down to the end. So great job, Lockdown Larks, and thank you for sharing with us tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment, Jean. Yeah, this is beautifully written, really thoughtful lines. The idea of the person looking in the mirror and knowing what to do speaks to me on the idea that they realize that what's most important is that they find faith in themselves. They learn to trust their inner wisdom and their inner guidance. Um, I like the shorter lines because those are very impactful, but really it's beautiful all the way through. I really like where it says, "You counsel me every day when I ask you what to believe. Should I go this or that way, the right or wrongs to perceive? If I ever lose my faith in you, I just don't know what I would do. Whenever I look, you are there, and no one can compare." And but then the mention, like I said, the mention of the mirror, I don't know, it feels like the ending is that realization that they can put faith in themselves rather than depending on other people's wisdom to think and believe, you know. But wonderful lines throughout and beautifully written by Lockdown Larks. Definitely a well chosen pre write that connects with the prompt. All right. And grabbing the next one, getting back to where I need to be. Excuse me. Sorry. All right. And up next, we have What is Delight If Not Insightful? Oh, let me try this again. What is delight if not insightful reflection by Way Down Upon Joy? And go ahead, please, Jean, and give that a read for us.
Sure. Give me a second.
Sure, no problem.
Okay. I stand aside and watch myself in present time and mind, reflecting like the morning star that leaves past light behind. I must not get too far ahead or dread what I can't see, so all that is gets mirrored in, each instance seen as glee. If looking back reverses sight, that insight's silver shimmer, as I remember joy once found, compounded now just dimmer. My universe reflects the depths of simpleness, 'tis true, delighted if I glimpse the more that lingers out of view. End poem.
Great read there, Jean. And what an amazing write by Way Down Upon Joy. This has a wonderful flow to it, amazing imagery and metaphors. Um, and I just really think this is beautiful. Um, and it's I don't know if reflective is the right word because it's kind of ironic considering the poem has the word reflection in it, but it does take a look like it's somebody who's looking inward at themselves. And they're studying their physical self, but it feels like they're trying to look beyond that. and trying to see the universe that's within them. Because, that second stanza, my universe reflects the depth of simpleness, 'tis true. Delighted if I glimpse the more that lingers out of view. I like that. I mean, I think both stanzas, a beautifully written brevity. Both stanzas are beautifully written. But it's definitely the second one that speaks to me the most. I am curious as to why is capital I, capital S. So all that is. I wonder, I feel like there's gotta be, because, like, I feel like there's gotta be a message there within the capital I and capital S, because it's not there because the person's yelling, because it's got too gentle of a tone throughout the whole right. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I don't think I'm overthinking it. I just don't think I quite have the answer yet. But maybe you do, Jean. I don't know. But I think this is beautifully written and very well done by Way Down Upon Joy.
Yeah, I thought this was a wonderful brevity too. Great rhyme and meter all the way through, and an excellent take on the prompt. I did think it was very well done. Um, you know, I guess, I must not get too far ahead or dread what I can't see. So all that is gets mirrored in, each instant seen as glee. I think that it's a collective. It's just an open, all that is gets mirrored in. And that, I guess that refers back to the mirror in the image. I don't know, that's my take on that specific line. Um, but I love this all the way through. And I had to go with the second stanza all the way through. If looking back reverses sight, that insight's silver shimmer, as I remember joy once found, compounded now, just dimmer. My universe reflects the depth of simpleness, 'tis true. Delighted if I glimpse the more that lingers out of view. Oh, I love this. I think it was very well done, and I think Joy did an excellent job. So well done, and thank you so much for sharing with us, Joy. Look forward to reading you again soon.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that was a great observation. And that would make sense for sure. So great comment there.
Yeah, this is a great piece.
Oh, I have to agree. It really connects well and it's just beautifully written. Oh my goodness gracious.
So many good ones so far.
It really is both. I mean, and really both the new rights and the pre-rights are so just beautiful and spot on and carry the right tone. It's
Yep,
I
absolutely.
think it's going to be one of those contests where I really wish I had the option of awarding more than 8 people. So,
Right.
but that's always a good problem to have. All right. Up next, we have the Night Sky Blessings of Rosewood Harvest Festival by Rosewinter 515. The Night Sky Blessings of Rosewood Harvest Festival. When the tables were cleared and the lanterns dimmed, the villagers gathered together on the cool grass. Parents, children, grandparents, creatures, all side by side. The night sky opened above them like a great dark blossom. Stars shimmered. The Milky Way drifted like flour dust across a baker's table. The air was still, listening, and together the village spoke. For the seed we planted, for the flowers we tended, for the apples we gathered, for the wheat we harvested, for the bread we shared, for the love that held us, we give thanks. May the sky watch over us. May the earth rest beneath us. May the year ahead be gentle. May our hearts stay warm. Grace held her potted flower close. David rested with a hand on the empty bread basket. Elsie curled around her sheaf of wheat. Lindy sat down patiently on the grass, and the stars shone brighter as though blessing the village in return. End poem. And this is so beautifully written. Rose Winter actually says in her end that she was inspired by all the paintings as a collection. And I can definitely see that. So very cool. And
Absolutely.
your thoughts, Jean?
Well, I thought this was beautifully penned by Rose. I love the collective that found in her poem, uh, from the inspirations she found in all of the prompts. I think that it was nicely done, and I'm sure if I sat and went through the prompts, I'm sure I could spot something throughout this whole piece. Um, so, so yeah, and that's where I got with my written comments so far. Um, you know, I liked how she started this off. Um, when the tables were cleared and the lanterns dimmed, the villagers gathered together on the cool grass. Parents, children, grandparents, creatures, all side by side. The night sky opened above them like a great dark blossom. Stars shimmered, the Milky Way drifted like flour dust across a baker's table. The air was still listening, and together the village spoke. I thought that was a great intro to the piece itself, and very well done. So, thank you, Rose Winter 515. I like this piece a lot. Nicely done. Mm-hmm. Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely.
Yep. Sorry, I had to slip
Yeah,
it in.
great, great comment, Jean. Oh, this is so beautiful and heartfelt. I really like how there's just such a sweetness to this right, and you can definitely see little tidbits of all of the artwork as a whole. Um, great imagery. I love the imagery in the second stanza with the Milky Way drifted like flour dust across a baker's table. That is just an amazing poetic line. I like where the villagers are all standing together and they're saying this almost like prayer of thankfulness. I have to say it actually made me think of like the Who's down in Whoville, the Grinch, and just gathered around and singing their Christmas song. It just has one of those really uplifting feels to it of people who just enjoy being together and celebrating life together. Um, and I like how she brings in the different characters from her Rose, Rosewood series, and I think it worked really well. Like I can definitely see how this artwork would be inspirational for that series, and especially the second to last stanza when she brings in individual characters. You can actually see the nod to the artwork because there's artwork with a potted flower, bread basket, sheaf of wheat, a woman sitting on the grass. I mean, it's all there, and she captures it so beautifully without it feeling forced. So excellent write by Rose Winter 515, and very well done. All right. And up next, gonna grab that and put it where it needs to be. All right. Up next, we have Eleanor's Thoughts by Earth Passion. And whenever you're ready, Jean, go ahead and give that a read for us, please.
Okie dokie. Eleanor's thoughts. Her pensive pose has me enthralled, midsummer's warmth and generous gifts. Such grace and beauty to behold, with eager eye while soft light shifts. Midsummer's warm and generous gifts, enveloped by curvaceous folds. Her sun-kissed crown surely uplifts, my mood beyond mere mundane thoughts. Such grace and beauty to behold, afloat on gentle summer breeze, a fantasy of growing old, beside her in the light of gold. With eager eye, while soft light shifts, my mind is drawn to ships afar, so tempted by curvaceous drifts, in pensive pose, my mind ajar. End poem.
Great read there, Jean. What a beautiful pre-write here by Earth Passion. I think it's a pre-write anyways. Yeah, yes it is. And but it works really well because the original artwork that this was written to was gosh, I don't know who the artist was. Impressionist artist Frank Weston Benson. So it's very similar in style. Like obviously not necessarily the exact same style, but very similar in its use of softer colors. So it definitely fits well into into this contest. Great imagery, thoughtful lines. I was wondering where she got the name from, but then I was looking at the original contest that this was in, and the painting was called Eleanor, so very cool there. And a retorn. A retorn, this is the form of a retorn, which is a form I have never tried before, but it sounds interesting. Like so many other French forms, the retorn is all about repetition. It contains 4 quatrains, and each line has 8 syllables. The trick is that the first stanza's second line must also be the second stanza's first line, and I won't read all of that, but you get the point. It's so forth and so on. But yeah, that might have to be something I'll have to check out myself. But this definitely has great rhyme and flow because of the form chosen, and she did it beautifully. I like how this speaks on almost like an admiration for somebody, but it's admiration for somebody that seems aloof. Because of the use of the word pensive, her pensive pose has me enthralled. Like the idea of being captivated by somebody who just keeps themselves at a distance, and that is what makes them even more enthralling. So wonderful right here by Earth Passion, and very well done.
Mm. Yeah, I thought this was a nicely written piece. I thought there was nice imagery, and I thought the thoughts were well expressed. I hate when I do that. Um, it was great work by Earth Passions. And yeah, I think it's admiration from a distance. You look at someone and you just think, wow, that person has got it all together. And I picked these stanzas here. Midsummer's warm and generous gifts, enveloped by curvaceous folds. Her sun-kissed crown surely uplifts my mood beyond mere mundane thoughts. Such grace and beauty to behold, afloat on gentle summer breeze, a fantasy of growing old, beside her in a light of gold. And I think that they were nice lines. I think that was kind of the meat of the meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? Uh, well, I could be right or wrong in that. The I think the first and the last stanza lean more towards the that admiration, and I think the centerpieces focus more on the, well, I would guess the image in the prompt, in her original prompt. So it was nicely done, and thanks for sharing with us, Earth Passions. Good to see you right again, or you're right on our table again. Let's put it that way. Well done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have to agree. I have to agree. Um, so great comment there, Jean. And all right, let me see, grabbing the next one. And we have Who is Seeing Who by, wait, I'm sorry, let me try that again. Unsure of Who is Seeing by Moss and Memory. And it goes like this. Mirror, mirror, can you really see the shapes of me? Darkness longing, light unraveling, time unwinding, through unmarked skin, leaving stories I've tried to forget, layered beneath the residue of yesterday's smeared makeup, begging eyes look back through the trembling of hungover hands, holding on to a reflection of a reflection, never ending, never arriving, always changing, not young, not done, waiting to see a way out of the frame that keeps me bound, unsure of who is seeing whom. End poem.
Hang on a second, Pam.
Oh, sure, no problem. I have to say that this particular artwork of the woman leaned forward, looking in the mirror, touching the side of her cheek, I think was the most taken one in the contest, the one that people were most drawn to.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah, I think this was a really good write. Um, I, hmm, where is this? Uh, I found this interesting, um, and not in a bad way. I like the way it was done. It has like it has like what feels to me to be like a darker. I don't want to say darker, a deeper thought in the um, right, as opposed to the other pieces we've read tonight. Doesn't make it any less. It doesn't make it any more. It just makes it. Um, because there is a sadness, a darkness, an inner darkness. Something I've tried to forget layered beneath the residue of yesterday's smeared makeup. Begging eyes look back through the trembling of hungover hands, holding on to a reflection of a reflection, never ending, never arriving, never always changing. Not young, not done, waiting to see a way out of the frame that keeps me bound, unsure of who is seeing whom. I like that, and it does have this deeper intent to it. You know what I mean? Darkness, longing, light, unwrap. I'm going over the whole thing because I find it to be very cleverly written. Uh, because it does focus on that mirror all the way through, and I don't think that it's missed anything. But in the mirror, it's what's being seen is what is so different. You know, darkness, longing, light, unraveling, time unwinding through unmarked skin, leaving stories I've tried to forget. Layered beneath the residue of yesterday's smear makeup. I think this is really a great piece, um, and there was a lot of. I think the emotions were well expressed in it. There's a deep sadness, I think, throughout the whole right, and yeah, it was clever and very well done. It was a great take on that prompt, I think,
oh,
in my opinion. So
oh,
yeah, I know you're waiting for me to say, great piece, Moss and Memory, and thank you for sharing with us tonight. Uh,
it,
yes.
it's how I know.
I know. Well, I wander
Oh
around
my
so
gosh,
much.
too funny. But great comment there, Jean. Yeah, this is beautifully written by Moss and Memory. It definitely has an emotional depth to it.
Yep.
I feel like this is the idea of someone who's trying to accept the passing of time, trying to trying to accept the changes that they're going through. But and I feel also like it looks at the idea of the pain, like looking at yourself and remembering the pain that you've been through, both physical and emotional. Um, and all three stanzas were just really powerful, thoughtful lines. But I did especially like that second stanza. Begging eyes look back through the trembling of hungover hands, holding on to a reflection, never ending, never arriving, always changing. Um, but man, I tell you, even that, I mean, all three of them, though, I don't know. I mean, because one leads beautifully into the next. Like, I feel like each stanza stands on its own, and yet you need all three together to see the complete picture of what this woman's life was and what it has become, and the acceptance that she has found in her life, and wondering still, is the complete truth of myself actually seen? So wonderful, right? And very well done. All right. And
Absolutely.
up next, we have Touchback by Macris. And whenever you're ready, Jean, go ahead and give that a read for us, please.
Okay, just give me a minute.
Sure, no
Well,
problem.
not quite a minute, but you know.
Something
Take,
like that.
yeah, something
Something
like
like
that.
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay. Touchback by Macris. Your hands spoke soft before I saw them bleed. Lines and scars etched, maps I could never read. Tried learning to carry what belonged to you. Too much for me, a burden I could never do. Slipping through and over fingers as if to see it fall. Sometimes a wish is a wish never wished at all. Hearts do not break the way the dreams still do, and hands don't hold us at all unless they choose. Close around those pieces that we've been shown, not to have you back, but to touch my own. And the poem.
Great read there, Jean. And what a beautiful and powerful write by Macris. Short, impactful lines, amazing imagery and metaphors. There's a sense of sadness, a sense of longing within this. The idea of thinking of another, like it feels like thinking about a parent or a grandparent, somebody who you've inherited characteristics of theirs, and you see um, in yourself, you see them, and looking back in time, you see also, vice versa, that you have this connection, and it feels like it's kind of at times a painful connection. um, Definitely a reflective piece. Wonderful lines throughout, but I especially like sometimes a wish is a wish never wished at all. Hearts do not break the way that dreams still do, and hands don't hold us close at all unless they choose. I especially like hands don't hold us close at all unless they choose. Like a person has to make a decision to love somebody, to care about somebody. And the more I look at this, the more I also wonder if it isn't about a relationship, a romantic love, too. But I don't know. I think it's very open to interpretation. But I like how either way it speaks on feeling as if a person chose not to hold on. So excellent write by Macris, and very well done.
Right, right. Yeah, I agree with you, Pam. I thought this was, excuse me, a nice write. I thought emotions were well expressed in this. There's a heaviness in this to me. Um, And the lines that I chose uh, hit me like that. Your hand spoke soft before I saw them bleed. Lines and scars etched maps I could never read. Tried learning to carry what belonged to you. Too much for me, a burden I could never do. Slipping through and over fingers as if to see it fall. I think that to me, this was like seeing, finally, I should say, finally seeing what someone else has gone through. You know, um, your hands were soft before I saw them bleed. Before you actually came to terms with what that person really was, how they were, what they were made of. Lines and scars, etched maps I could never read. To me, that's lines and scars. It's wrinkles and scars. That are someone through the years has gotten all that, and it is like a map. It's like that first poem we read tonight. I tried learning to carry what belonged to you. You try, you try to pull the weight that they once pulled, and it's too much. It's a burden I could never do. And it to me, it's a reaching an appreciation maybe, or something to that effect, um, for someone near the end, or later in life. The older what is it? The older you get, the smarter your parents become. I'm not saying that this is
Yes,
about parents.
something like that.
Yes.
Yes.
So this just strikes me as someone that through the years has come to finally realize, the worth of another, or the sacrifice of another, or learn to appreciate that. So I think this is a wonderful piece. Nice job, Macris, and I really enjoyed this. So thank you for sharing with us tonight. I had to say that because Pam's waiting for it.
Yes, exactly, exactly. But I like that. And yes, that makes total sense. And I think that the mention of the lines in the hand is why I first thought of a parent or grandparent.
Right.
So yeah, I'm glad you clarified that because I wasn't
Well, that doesn't
100% sure,
wait a
but
minute, Pam. That doesn't mean I'm right. It just means that's what I thought.
well,
Only
it
Macris
seems right
knows.
to me. It
Right.
seems very
Right.
right to me. I mean, I suppose there's a chance we're both wrong, but it
I've been
wouldn't
wrong
be the
before.
first time.
Just saying. But
Um,
Macris is in the room.
but
Let's see what she said. Did she tell us? Uh, she didn't tell us. Dag nabbit. Oh, well, what are you going to do? T.
right, right.
Manzano
Well,
must have put in his other earbud because he
okay.
couldn't
She
hear.
says it's about a parent.
There you
Okay,
go. There you go.
there. Very cool. We
Listen.
we learned something. I like that. I
Listen,
like
T.
that.
Manzano must have put in his other earbud because now he's in the room twice.
Uh-oh.
See, I just thought I'd let you know. That's funny. Oh my
Oh,
gosh. Well, it was a great poem, Macris, and thank you for sharing with us. I really appreciate it. That was good.
yeah, me
Made me
too.
think a
Me
minute.
too.
Yes. Okay.
And all right. Well, up next we have Me by Teresa S. And it goes like this. I have an eye that is blue as the depth of the sea. I have an eye that holds tears that sing. I have a tongue that will speak only of truth and of a story that needs to be told. I have a hand of gentle stillness. I have a hand of coldest clay. I have two arms of highest mountain and a song for every day. I have a foot made of the softest angel wings. I have a foot made of golden corn. I have two legs of strongest tree branches that will dance and dance till early dawn. I have a dream of water. I have a dream of snow. I have a dream of wildfires and a harpstring that sings long and low. I have eyes that are blue as the sea's depth. I have eyes that shed the tears of the world. I have a tongue that will speak naught but truth and of a story that needs to be told. End poem.
Absolutely. What a clever piece. I mean, I like how she brought it full circle, but not exactly. She took that first stanza and kind of revamped it at the end, to kind of, oh God, what's the word I just wanted? Put bookends around it. Um, I have a hand of gentle stillness. I have a hand of coldest clay. She's looking at herself and seeing all the different attributes. Uh, you know, we all know in poetry things are not written direct always. I have two arms of highest mountain and a song for every day. When you look inside yourself, you see the different pieces of you, the different the different ways that you are, the way that you perceive yourself, the way that you put yourself forward. And to me, I mean, yeah, you can be this way today and that way tomorrow, and you change. You change with everything that's thrown your way. One day you have on a catcher's mitt, another day you're ready to pitch. It's just you see different sides of yourself. So I like that this shows the different facets of who she is, and it was very nicely written. So thank you, Teresa S. Great job, and thanks for sharing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great comment there, Jean. Yeah, I thought this had a nice flow to it, wonderful imagery, some great use of repetition. Um, I do like how this does speak to me on the idea of, the different parts of self, understanding who you are and understanding that you can change and gain new perspectives. And I like how it speaks on, the importance of, being strong, the importance of being also gentle, and and the end line where it says, "I have eyes that shed the tears of the world," having that some sense of empathy for the rest of the world. And I have a tongue that will speak naught but truth, and of a story that needs to be told. I really like that end line, and that it speaks on the idea that we share our individual stories as, like a testimony about life, and that people can hear our individual stories and say, there's somebody who's been down this similar paths that I have, you know. And just a wonderful write by Teresa S. And very well done. All right.
Yes.
And up next, we have Sewn in Time by Mike Horsfall. And Jean, whenever you're ready, go ahead, please, and give that a read for us.
Gosh, I don't know if I can read my horseful. Hang on a second. Let me put up the link over here.
It actually doesn't look too bad.
Usually they're kind of in depth though. Oh, I like the image. That's a good one. Sewn in Time by Mike Horsfall. In the tapestry of her existence, threads of memories interwoven, each threaded journey sewn with a needle and time. Her countenance, a canvas etched with the hardships of a life well chosen, rivers carved by the currents of sorrow and joy in lines. Her thoughts, a labyrinth of longing for a place called home, sanctuary lost in the maelstrom of wars and displacement, soul adrift in the vast expanse of old age alone, with no anchor of kinship for her heart's encasement. This old woman cloaked in the shadows of contemplation, weight of age etched in the furrows of her forehead, eyes like pools of sorrow reflecting the ghost of deportation. Dreams of bygone days whispered on the winds of the dead. In her weathered hands, a sepia-toned portrait of youth, seen relic in innocence and hope, preserved in monochrome hues, resting upon the altar of an old sewing machine, a shrine to the forgotten artistry of days paid dues. Wistful thoughts drift like mist over the landscape of her mind, echoes of laughter and tears woven into the tapestry of her being, each stitch a bittersweet bittersweet reminder of a life once vibrant and kind, now faded like a forgotten melody not played for the singing. She sits in silence, a solitary figure in a world of night, lost in a labyrinth of memory, tracing the contours of her past. Reflection, a mosaic of shadows and light, her eyes a testament to the passage of timeless last. And as the hours slip away like grains of sand in an hourglass, lingering in the twilight of her reverie, a sentinel of solitude, witness to the ebb and flow of life's transient tides surpass, soul adrift in the vast expanse of eternity accrued. End poem. Wow.
Great read there, Jean. This is so beautifully written. I'm glad Mike Horsfall shared this with us. I have to say that it is definitely a pre-write that fits well in the contest because there was at least one image that we've already seen of the older woman, and plus there was another one of the an older man. So even though the artwork attached to his poem is from the contest it was in previously, it still connects so very
Mm-hmm.
well with the this contest here. Wonderful imagery, thoughtful and heartfelt lines. I have to say that that picture attached to his poem, I that looks like a sewing machine both my mom and my grandma used to have. Um, but I like the imagery in this. I like how it speaks on the idea of, you know, what it's like to look at somebody as they're aging, you know, as they try to navigate the loss of memory, as they try to navigate what they have become, what their life has become, and try to find that sense of acceptance. You know, the such beautiful lines all the way through, but I do especially like those last two stanzas. Nicely written and very well done.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I thought that this was a gorgeous piece. I would, if I hadn't seen where he put it in another contest, I would have sworn he basically wrote this to that prompt.
Yes.
All except was the only thing that was kind of a giveaway to me because Mike doesn't make these mistakes. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. In her weathered hands, a sepia-toned portrait of youth, seen relic of innocence and hope, preserved in monochrome hues, resting upon the altar of an old sewing machine. That's the only thing that gave it away to me before I got to the bottom. Because, well, I mean, it was just, no, I swear, that even that fits. She's got a picture of herself that she seems to be stitching. But it really does fall right in line with that image. I wonder if he wrote this to this image way back when, somewhere. I don't know. I could be wrong.
It does just fit very well, doesn't it?
Amazingly
For
so. I
sure.
find that to be uh, pretty amazing. I really do. But I thought that it was an excellent fit for the prompt. Amazing imagery throughout, and the emotions were really well expressed in this. I thought there were so many incredible stanzas. Um, God, like where do I start, right? Which one should I grab? Well, let me take two right from the top. Why not? Start at the top, right? In the
There you
tapestry of
go.
her existence, threads of memories interwoven, each thread a journey sewn with a needle of time. Her countenance, a canvas etched with the hardships of a life well chosen, rivers carved by the currents of sorrow and joy in lines. Her thoughts, a labyrinth of longing for a place called home, sanctuary lost in the maelstrom of wars and displacement, soul adrift in the vast expanse of old age alone, with no anchor of kinship for her heart's encasement. There's just not a bad stanza in it. There's just not. And I took it from the top because it leads in with the threads and who she is and a little bit about, what she's seen or been through. And I think that that was pretty amazing. But yeah, I'd have sworn this was the prompt for this poem. I would have, absolutely. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty incredible. You don't often get a pre-write that fits so well. So that's what I'm going to say. So,
Oh,
great
yeah.
piece. Great piece, Mike Horswell, and thank you for sharing with us tonight. There you go, Pam. All yours.
Great
Oh,
comment there, Jean. All right. Up next, we have Kid at Court 200 Years Ago, a dialogue by Writing Fan. And it goes like this. Young man, let's now proceed with your case. Sit down, you are pale and tumbling. Why did you steal bread at marketplace? Please stop the mumbling. Your Honor, please be gracious and kind. Me and 4 siblings are starving. Mother has pox and father is blind, and grandmother keeps on barfing. Well, on one hand, the life of 5 kids, on the other, swag for 5 pence. Are your parents esteemed or misfits? Audience, please mind the guard fence. Your Honor, father can't work so much. My mother brought people pleasure. 5 pence and men may give her a touch. 5 more and she'll show her treasure. Back to the prison, unworthy brood. At dawn you will hang till you're dead. A rotten seed just brings rotten fruit. Audience, you might share the bread. Epilogue. There was no execution at dawn. At this point, the explanation. Boy was on time, but hangman was gone. Feared a pox contamination. End poem.
ah, nice read,
What?
Pam.
Thank
Nice
you.
read.
I'm checking to see what prompt 4 is. Ah, I see. It's the little boy. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, I don't know what
Absolutely.
prompt four is. Let me go look and see what prompt four is. And then I
It's
have to
the same
mention,
one that Monty wrote to the little boy
you
holding
know,
the giant ball.
it's so funny. When when you said something about this image and you said something about him holding a giant ball, I laughed, right? I laughed at myself. Because when I looked at this, it looked like he was holding a giant donut. And
Giant dog.
I said, oh my God. I said, well, I guess it is a ball. I don't know. The colors threw me. It looked like a chocolate covered uh,
It
filling.
does actually, like a Bismarck or something like that.
Don't
Yeah.
get too technical. Yes, don't get too technical. I was thinking
Yeah.
Boston cream, but it looked like it had the chocolate dip on top, and I'm like, it's a ball? And I went back and I looked at it and I said, well, I guess it's a ball. So I can't help myself. But listen, Pam, I have to ask you to comment first because I don't know what I was asking Robbie if he wanted to call in, and what did he say? Oh, I guess he didn't answer me yet. And then I was doing something else. I was putting up the link, so I did not get a chance to
Oh,
read along
sure,
with.
no problem.
Okay.
Well, I have to say that I think uh, the Writing Fan has a real talent for writing dialogue, for writing plays. Like I can definitely see, like this stands well on its own, but I can definitely see it being expanded and being performed on a stage. This has some nice rhyme and flow. It's raw and gritty. It takes us back to what seems like about the Victorian era, and into the real distance, social distance between the really rich and the really poor, and the idea of a starving child getting punished with death, um, because of their station in life, because they were hungry and they had to steal, and because of where they came from, people passed judgment on them. And I thought the ending, the epilogue, was particularly clever. With there was no execution at dawn. At this point, the explanation: boy was on time, but hangman was gone. Feared a pox contamination. So there's an irony in that, in the way that the same fear that people had of him that brought forth his punishment was the same fear that saved his life. So this is really nicely done by Writing Fan, and very clever take on the chosen prompt.
Right, right. Nice comment, Pam. Yeah, and reading this, I'm kind of like, okay. Um, you know, uh, the poor kid was picked up for stealing bread at the marketplace, and he says that his four siblings are starving. But then he goes on to say, Your Honor, father can't work so much, but mother brought people pleasure. 5 pence, and men may give her a touch. 5 more, and she'll show her treasure. And then, he says, back to prison, unworthy brood. At dawn you will hang till you're dead. A rotten seed just brings rotten fruit. Audience, you might share the bread. But then the epilogue is that chuckle. Uh, and you kind of have to catch it. There was no execution at dawn. At this point, the explanation: boy was on time, but hangman was gone, feared the pox contamination. Apparently, he had visited his mother. So I felt that was a good touch of humor at the end. But very, very nicely written. It was very clever and very creative. So great job there, Writing Fan, which is still a new name to me. I think I've heard it maybe once before. And very, very well done. And, as I say, a clever take on that prompt. Um, I kind of liked it very much. So well done, and thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, absolutely. Great comment, Jean. All right. Up next, we have Holding Jupiter by Monarch Soul. And whenever you're ready, Jean, go ahead and give that a read for us.
Sure. Give me a second. Okay. Yes, I did not forget, Pam. Okay. Holding Jupiter by Monarch Soul. Cold stone columns, a stark contrast to the black sky. Air thick and heavy. Small, steady feet moved through the rubble of the torn and shaken earth. Thunder exploded through the evening like eternal drums. The figure kneeling, crouched on the temple floor, glowed faintly with dark red light coursing through his veins. Hands of steel gripped golden locks, his shoulders shook in time with the thunder. Sobs ripped through the air. A small figure approached, seemingly unaware of the torrent of weather. Innocent hands rested first on the bent shoulder, then both arms went around the shaking man. The child waited, just holding on. The pulse of dark red veins slowed and cooled to warm golden. The storm quieted in harmony. Fists unclenched from hair, head raised, and looked at the small child, whose arms were still wrapped about the massive shoulders. Innocent child, you have calmed the storm. Per hoc pietatis officium passum restitusti et filius meus eris. The boy smiled and rested his head on the strong, steady shoulder. Father, are you better now? The man turned towards the child, placing him gently at arm's reach. Yes, child, I am well. Ego sum lupiter, et tu eris precips passimes. He stood, and the boy who held Jupiter walked hand in hand with the god out of the temple into the now peaceful Rome. End poem. I love when I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Just say it. No
Oh
clue.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Great read there though, Jean. That was wonderful. Um, yeah, and this is beautifully written. In her AN, she puts the translation as I am Jupiter, and you shall be my Prince of Peace. This is a wonderful mythology, right? Jupiter or Jupiter, Eopiter, however you pronounce it, I forget. But, anyways, he is basically the Roman equivalent of Zeus. He is a head god. He is a god known for controlling of the weather. I like the interaction between the child and the god, and the idea of this child reaching out to help someone, reaching out to calm a person. It feels like the idea of, like helping a stranger, because you never know when you're helping an angel. But in this case, it's like helping a stranger because you never know when you're helping a Roman god. Wonderful, wonderful imagery, great storytelling, just absolutely captivating. I really like hands of steel gripped golden locks, as shoulders shook in time with thunder, sobs ripped through the air. A small figure approached, seemingly unaware of the torrents of weather. Innocent hands rested first on a bent shoulder, then both arms went around the shaking man. I like how this speaks on the idea of a child who is willing to reach out and to comfort someone that everybody else is afraid to approach. So excellent, right? And very well done.
Yeah, great comment, Pam. Yeah, I think that this was an excellent piece, Pen. I loved, only the innocence of a child. You know what I mean? Children sometimes don't know fear, and when things are, you know, scary around us, they come over and they just wrap their arms around us and try and uh, calm us sometimes. Sometimes they get scared with us, but not always. And that in itself is enough to kind of share the strength, I guess. Um, um, I'm not exactly sure if this was a true storm or a storm within. That's kind of the way I look at things sometimes. Let me see. Let me see. Hands of steel gripped golden locks. His shoulders shook in time with the thunder. Sobs ripped open, ripped through the. Wow, I'm making up words now. Sobs ripped through the air. A small figure approached, seemingly unaware of the torrent of weather. Innocent hands rested first on the bent shoulder, then both arms went around the shaking man. The child waited, just holding on. The pulse of dark red veins slowed and cooled to a warm golden. The storm quieted in harmony. You know, um, I, how often can we see where someone's upset internally? They have that internal storm going on. And, the love of a child, coming up and giving us a hug or what have you. I think many a mother would understand what I'm saying. Maybe a few fathers, maybe a couple more than a few, a couple more than a few. But it's something that I can see it from that point of view, um, where they just come and they calm things, and I find that I've always found that to be kind of amazing. You know, um, they can just make us. I don't know. Maybe we calm because we know we have to be strong for them. I'm not sure how that works, but it works. So I think that this really was a wonderful piece, and somewhat relatable, in that respect, from my point of view, anyway. You know, I don't know for sure if I'm anywhere near what, at all, what Monarch had in mind, but that's the way I took it, and that's what makes it the way it is. So, well done, and thank you for sharing with us, Monarch.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Great comment there, Jean. Great observations for sure.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, just sending out a quick message and then getting back to where I need to be. And all right. Up next, I'm going to put A Fatal Wish by Budo. And it goes, and by the way, I am not going to read the Middle English. I am going to go down to the version of Modern English.
Modern
Just so,
English. That was a good group. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. Was it actually a group?
It was, but yeah, they were short lived. But needless
Aha.
to say,
That's probably why
how come I was supposed to read the Latin, and you're not going to read the Middle English? What's up with that?
Latin was 3 lines. This is 3 stanzas.
I think it was more like 5 or 6, and I couldn't do it. So why can't you do Middle English?
That is a good question.
Robbie, back me up here.
Back you up.
Yeah, Robbie, back me up. Jojo, help me out. Oh God,
Nope, I'm sticking with Modern English.
chicken.
And people can read the Middle English to themselves.
Yeah.
All right. So this is A Fatal Wish by Budo. And it goes like this. Fair maid on evening work amend, her calloused fingers wrapped a bend, a window frame of rugged pine, the hourly chores not done till nigh. She wishes upon a twinkled star, bright and hot shone from afar, to broach her gilded master's fees, and give her hope and set her free. But she knows well the truth and ways, the master holds her contracted days. She sighs a long and deliberate breath, and hopes her time be quick in death. End poem.
Nice read, Pam. This is a great piece by Budo. I kind of like this with that image. Although that image, with the last rate we had for it, I thought that suited it well. This one suits it just as well. Two completely different animals, too. The poems, that is. I mean, this shows a maid that was kind of locked into her position. Um, gosh, how do I do this without talking about all three of them? Um, I like how it starts out, giving it a short idea of who she was. But this year, she wishes upon a twinkled star, bright and hot shone from afar, to broach her gilded master's fees, and give her hope and set her free. But she knows well the truth and ways, the master holds her contract days. She sighs a long and deliberate breath, and hopes her time be quick in death. I mean, that's, this fella owns her, and she has no way out of it. And I mean, that's what I get from this. And when you look at the image, well, I can see it. I can see it. Because, she doesn't really look happy. And she looks weighted down, you know. So, I mean, I think he captured something in that image. Very well done. Very well done, Budo. And thank you for sharing with us tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I have to agree. Um, I would have liked to hear this read in his voice, especially since he probably could have done the Middle English. But I think it's beautifully written. Has a wonderful flow to it. Amazing imagery. I like how it brings us back in time to the life of a girl who works for somebody who just, life is not kind to her. And I really like that I'm honestly surprised that he didn't put this in the contest. But he did write it. It seems as if he wrote it new to the
4 hours ago.
prompt. So that was great to see. And wonderful lines throughout. But I did especially like that second stanza. Beautifully written and very well done by Budo. Yeah, so this has been an amazing show tonight. Thank you, as always, Jean, for being my twisted sister. Make sure to join Aphasiana and Babbler, everyone, for Part Sinner, Part Saint in a half hour. Thank you to Jojo, Monty G, T. Manzano, Amy Lynn, Robbie's Poetry, Macris, and the other T. Manzano,
Yes,
plus
glad you did not forget him.
Monarchs. Yeah.
That's so
Plus
funny.
Monarch Soul, and thank you to everybody who was listening now or will be listening later. We truly appreciate you all. Thank you to everyone who provided rights for the show. And please make sure to keep an eye out on the contests and topic boards put up by Late Night Poets, hosts and hostesses, because you're sure to find something to inspire. And have a wonderful night, everyone. Have a wonderful night, Jean.
Thank you, YouTube fam. Great show. Okay.